green apple rings.
I like green apple rings, but I like peach rings more.
They need to do mango rings and lime rings. Those would be amazing.
I like ring pops.
Ring pops are delicious too. Hey, what's that thing you told me to do that makes it go full screen and makes it pretty?
Hit F11.
F11.
I
Okay.
freaking love ring pops.
Oh yes, that looks so much better. You are right.
Yeah, universal key command. If you've got things that are in a window, Internet File Explorer, anything along those lines, hit F11, takes away the bars across the top and bottom. It's always nice.
I ordered oolong tea, hot oolong tea from Mr. Wish, and got it delivered, and I'm happy about it.
Nice. Probably came from the mall.
Yeah.
Is it alright if I roll my dice for fun?
I don't see why not. Why are you yelling split the party to your other players?
What? I would do no such thing.
I fear for their safety.
You should. Because what I'm going to put you guys through is actually much lighter than what I will be putting them through.
Here we go. Are you ready?
Like, I'd say don't go easy on us, but I know what your hard mode looks like, so I won't.
No, you don't know what the hard mode looks like. You're not in my other campaign.
Well, that scares me even more.
I have learned some things.
Shit. Dice.
And it's mostly because the other campaign that I'm doing is based on Rime of the Frost Maiden, which is already inherently a horror campaign. Much different from Curse of Strahd. Curse of Strahd is a very gothic, romancy horror. Rime of the Frost Maiden is a
Cthulhu-esque?
No, it's very psychological. It's all about concepts that a lot of people can actually have and or develop phobias over. Isolation, being trapped, being smothered or buried alive, drowning.
Have you been listening to a certain podcast lately?
I have not. I don't listen to podcasts.
Sounds like my cup of tea.
Because there's this great podcast which explores all of those fears and in fact makes them into small short story horror things that last maybe 20 minutes long. The Magnus Archives.
Ooh, I will have to go look that up and listen to that then. That'll give me some better ideas.
The best part is they read it in really sexy British accents, and also the two main protagonists end up being gay together, and it's awesome.
Oh, jolly good.
Crockett.
But yeah, no, there's a lot of explorations of horror in there.
Put a list of phobias that I used to give out to my students.
Oh, yeah.
In case you want to see any interesting phobia names. Like hippopotomonstrossoequipedalia phobia.
Is that the fear of long words?
It is.
Ow, my ears.
My child, try not to do that directly into the microphone.
Sorry, just had to.
I'm gonna go check for an ear bleed now.
This is why I have him turned all the way down in my ears.
Yeah. What was the really good one? It's I'm gonna draw a blank on how it's pronounced, but it's the fear of palindromes. It's sort of a made-up one.
What's a palindrome?
I think it's palindrome.
This thing is spelled forward and backwards the same, so it's probably phobia spelled backwards in front of phobia, so it's probably aebophobia or something like that.
It's something like that.
What's a palindrome?
So the same forward and backward, like race car. Madam, I'm Adam.
Say, when I rolled my dice, did they look good?
Yes. Your dice looked very pretty, darling.
They had like hints of gold as well as purple and even having like dragon scales.
Hey guys.
Hey, Billy.
Hello.
Yeah, I don't know why. For some reason, my computer will not let me into the voice chat. I was like, seemingly have to do it on my phone.
Oh, that sucks.
Hello.
Where's Heather?
She'll be on in like 2 seconds.
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi.
3.
Liar.
I was gonna say she's just in the other room. By the way, Kat, you are definitely the chronicler. I approve.
Yeah, I was gonna take notes, but apparently my notebook has gone missing between last session and this session, and I have no fucking idea where it is. I believe it was perhaps a mimic and just got up and left.
I was just using Notepad.
I had a physical notebook that I took, and I was making notes, and I bought new pencils and every goddamn thing.
Where are the new pencils?
I have the pencil. The pencil's right fucking here. But the notebook's gone, and I don't know where it is.
Hey, by the way, if I talk from here, can you guys hear me okay, or is it muffled or anything?
I can hear you. I may actually.
It's a little faint, but I can turn you up.
Oh. I was gonna say, because my phone's plugged in like 5 feet away. I just don't know, because I thought this laptop had built-in speakers, and I was like, maybe that's why it's not letting me join the chat.
No, even if you don't have a microphone, you should still be able to join chats.
Yeah.
He just won't let you talk.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know why it's not even letting me in.
That's why laptops suck.
Yeah, but I didn't really want to plan on buying another one, but I have to kind of do the thing.
Do the thing! Hey, is Courtney listening out there?
I mean, I've got my headphones in, so technically no.
I mean, is Courtney in the same room as you?
Currently, yes.
I want you to take your hands and cup them with thumbs on the bottom, each of your hands, and top fingers curved inwards, and I wish you to connect them together to form a heart with your hands and show them to her, and therefore express my love for her.
Oh, okay. Sorry, the instructions were interesting. It took me a second.
Give her heart hands.
Yes, it took me a second.
I'm
It would
sorry.
have been faster to say heart hands.
It would have, but my brain doesn't work like that.
Heart hands.
But anyway, yeah, convey our collective love and appreciation for Courtney, would you?
I did.
Oh man, there's a sticky spot on my mouse. That's not cool.
Did you put your notebook on a shelf?
I checked all of the shelves. If that was true, it is no longer true because it's not on any of them.
Did you ask the little ones?
Oops.
I didn't, but I feel like if they knew where my notebook was, they would have told me.
But you didn't ask them.
I didn't ask them, but I mean, they've never seen it. I don't know that they'd know it if they saw it.
We're talking about kids here.
Yeah.
You kind of have to ask.
All right, Jason, have you seen my notebook?
Nope.
Ask your brother if he's seen my notebook.
Okay. He said no.
There we go. We've asked the children.
Better safe than sorry.
It'll turn up sometime, probably above me as I sleep, plotting my demise, because I'm fairly positive by now that it is indeed a mimic.
Is it
Hey.
under a blanket?
I checked under the blanket already, so unless it was flipping to either side as I was checking it, no. Which is possible, I know.
Hey guys, can you give me a second? I realize I am still wearing the clothes from when we were hanging out with our friends. Can I go get into comfy clothes?
Oh no, how dare you? I did the same thing.
Well, that's my sketchbook, but I'll take it anyway.
That's why I said I needed like 15 more minutes so I could get changed and get some food. Trust me, you're fine.
Just a second.
Take your
Please,
time.
no, don't rush. Take your time. There is no rush. You.
I mean, she's walking from that room to this, so it's not going to be that much of an interruption.
Me and Kathy have been discussing theories about last night. I mean, the last episode. Kathy thinks
Last time on Dungeons and Dinosaurs.
Kathy thinks that all of the villagers secretly hate us and we're in on this person being evil and sent us here to die.
You mean the
Or-
entire city of Baldur's Gate?
Yeah.
Or what was my other option?
I mean, we're about to.
I
we're
don't
about to fight
remember.
Nicole.
The other thing I said is that maybe she's nice and she's cursed and she needs help.
I'm just gonna go with she's a lich.
Yeah, we're about to fight Nerzul.
I don't know why you're so obsessed with Nerzul. There were other liches.
So I just finished. I finished the book Rise of the Horde for my book club, and that's the one I'm really familiar with because my cousin also explained one of those in a fan fiction. So that's just my point of reference.
There are other liches other than Nerzul.
Okay, I believe you. But if we mention Lich, I will probably mention Nerzul going forward.
You see, Nerzul's not the first one I think of. I was introduced to a different Lich in a completely different book series a long ass time ago. But when it comes to World of Warcraft, no, my first thought's Kel'Thuzad.
Oh yeah, Kel'Thuzad. He's the daddy of all them liches.
Yeah, I think I might have mentioned him. Because the Lich King came around because that was when like Archimonde fused with like Nerzul, right? And it went down, if I recall.
What?
I think Nerzul was fused with the Helm of Domination
That one?
to create the Lich King's crown.
Okay, yeah. So that's what I thought.
Nerzul, it's complicated because Nerzul is an orc and he's from a completely different world than actual Azeroth. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he's from Draenor because they open up all the portals and then
He was shaman of the Shadow Moon clan.
Yep.
Yeah, because that's what the book was about. The book was about Duratan and Nerzul, and then
they technically came after.
Hi, ready.
Hooray!
I feel you, Kat. I feel you.
It's a good thing that almost everybody is in the game right now.
Do we even have to roll to see who gets to do the recap? Because I mean, Kathy already wrote it out.
Oh no! Today is me doing the recap.
Let me bring Foundry.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Still need you in here, Billy.
Yeah. I kind of brain farted and didn't bring Foundry up. One moment.
That's not
shame. Need a bell noise.
I can barely hear you.
Me?
No, Billy.
Yeah.
You might need to turn his volume up. He's got distance issues with his phone.
Mm-hmm.
He's also now not linked, so
He's gone.
He's gone.
He's gone.
But yes, even though there are some absolutely wonderful notes being put in there by Dear Cat, yes, we will still do recaps. I would prefer that people not read up on her notes beforehand. It's not a test or anything. It helps me see what it is each individual person got out of the previous session. And it helps me. Yes, I can see all of the things for the note takers. I mean, sweet Jesus. You should see some of Chris's notes. But It's more to help me see what you folks get out of the sessions, and also it means that they don't have to go reading notes, and they also don't have to listen to me give the recap every time, because I almost intentionally gloss over things, because it's me. But no, today I was going to do the recap because, I mean, we didn't have a recap last session. I figure I would start off with it, and then from here on out, I would have you folks do it, and we would just roll to determine the order, and then once we ran through the order, we would roll again. And this would only happen for 2 out of every 3 sessions, because after next session, right, we'll have this one, we'll have next week, and then the one after that, we will take off for a week. I'm trying a slightly different schedule of not forcing people to sit down every single week and listen to me prattle on about nonsensical BS. Plus, it helps me out by giving me guaranteed time to prepare things if necessary. I do way over prepare ahead of time. Like, I've got enough going that we could play for probably 6 months and I wouldn't have to worry about running out of what I've prepared already. But I don't know what you guys are going to do. I've got a pretty good feeling about what you're going to do, but I don't know for certain. You guys could just go a completely different direction. Go off to bumfrick nowhere for all I know. One of the joys of Dungeons and Dragons and Dinosaurs. But
Shenanigans.
Dinosaurs even come from.
You'll see. You'll see.
You'll see.
Patience.
I mean, unless you guys decide to just go the opposite direction.
We're gonna go
But-
shopping again.
That's a possibility.
We're gonna run out of money at some point.
Hey, by the way, did you see we were rotating doing the recaps?
Yes.
Can I opt out of the recaps?
No.
Why?
I just don't really want to do it.
Understandable. But it would be fair if everybody took a turn with it.
All right, well, if you need me to, I'll do it. I was just saying. I kind of prefer just to play. I mean, I don't mind the recap. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind the recap being said. I just didn't want to say the recap.
It's
Well,
something I
without
can
that-
understand.
I'm probably never going to be able to do the recap.
Yeah, you will, babe. If you need help, I'll give it to you. But it's good for you to do the recaps because I can see how well you were paying attention last time and your comprehension skills on everything. That's what Caleb needs to know too, how well you were paying attention.
Not so much how well you're paying attention, but what precisely you paid attention to. Because it will allow me to then focus more on things that people pay attention to. And I can put more of that sort of content in there. Because it's not just what the content is, but also how I present things. Different people will pick up on that differently. As such, knowing what and how you react to, it allows me to much more tailor the experience to you fine folks. But yes, anyway, we will start off. If everybody is ready, we can get started with our recap and then hop right into some shenanigans, and we'll see if we TPK tonight.
Okay.
Fingers crossed.
All right, so we left off with our dear party reconvening after several years' absence from one another. Friends that have known each other for quite a while, but quite often go their own different directions and meet back in Baldur's Gate every few years and catch up and swap stories and find out what they've missed. Whilst kicking back and relaxing within the Blushing Mermaid, they were accosted by a very, very intoxicated fellow. And he kind of gave a sob story and was trying to, I don't know what the best way to phrase this is. He was upset that there was a group of adventurers, and he got really sad and morose because it reminded him of the loss of his friend, who was presumably eaten by giants after following another group of adventurers, and so he's kind of gained a bad opinion of them. But after having an interesting conversation with him and with lots of folks around town, there was word of a Sindra Sylvain that was looking for some work. No exact details were given, but our party decided to take their time. They went around the city, they went clothes shopping. We had one go off on his own for a little while and look for enchantments for their weapon, and after some success being had in the form of a golden star being put atop the straw hat of Herg, I believe it was, and some slight disappointment in no enchantments being had for a particular sword, most of our group reconvened, not most, all, I don't know why I said most, reconvened and proceeded on their way to the Manorborn district, where the residence of Sindra Sylvain was said to be. After getting some directions wrong and making a right turn when they should have made a left turn, our intrepid party ended up at the residence of Sindra Sylvain, where they were met by a very old elf, presumably the caretaker of the residence. Someone's got me on an open mic. All good. I think if you reduce your input volume a little bit through Discord, that might help matters a little bit. Or if you reduce the volume on the output where I'm coming out of. Because I know
Just a moment, I've got to throw something away.
Okie doke. So anyway, guys, my dinner is amazing. It's ham and split pea soup with carrots and onions. Did you actually hate it?
I still want to eat it.
You're allowed to say that you don't like things, Courtney. Sorry, I'm having a conversation on open mic because I can.
Is that better? Or I didn't know if it was me. Let me make sure.
My poor eardrums. Let me turn you down a little bit. Otherwise, yes, I'm not hearing myself coming through your speaker, so I think we're good.
Okay.
Jason, you back, buddy?
Jason, are you done throwing the thing away? Pardon me a moment. Jason!
No, you're fine. I assumed you would have responded.
Are you done?
Yeah, I was just seeing how the hot tea.
We'll take it over, and you can put it on the table next to your computer. Just don't put it on the computer desk.
Alright, it tasted like coffee.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Jump back on the mic. We got distracted by tea.
That's actually understandable.
Extremely. This episode is sponsored by tea. Hot, cold, whatever you need. Just make sure it's got plenty of sugar and honey in it.
And the letter T.
But don't drink too much because you will end up with your second kidney stone.
I don't think.
And you'll also end up with another letter T.
That sounded like personal experience there, Bailey.
It was from yesterday.
Ooh, you poor soul. I am so sorry.
That's okay. I got through it. One was enough. I didn't want a second one.
Yeah.
At least it came 2 years later.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this time around, I had to sit for 2 hours in a waiting room while I was in screaming pain.
By himself.
Yeah. No, I've heard some horror stories. I'm good.
So he's back on the mic. We're all good to go.
Excellent. Making their way to the residence, the party marveled at the artifacts and displays and wondrous paintings and all sorts of different things found within at least this tidbit of the Sylvain Manor. Being led to a sort of secret, not quite secret doorway, kind of tucked back underneath the staircase. They were led to a plain hallway that was very dark and closed in and just kind of led back to a single door. Pardon. Going in, they found themselves within what looked like a study. All sorts of papers strewn about on a desk, crackling fireplace off to one side, and there a couple of chairs, one of them filled with, occupied with someone. And said figure stood up and introduced themselves, and we ended as said figure pulled their hood back and began to reveal themselves to the party.
Hey, by the way, Caleb, I'm gonna expand your adjectives here. Can you say the word ausgezeichnet?
Bless you.
Why am I saying it?
Ausgezeichnet. It means outstanding in German.
I was gonna say it sounded like German.
Yeah. Well, wunderbar's German too, so I was just giving you another word if you want to rotate them.
I'll get back to you after I've practiced that a few times.
Fair.
But wunderbar. And with that, we are back into the action if everybody is ready.
Ready?
Ready?
I'm all set.
Okay.
I believe you.
So the figure stands up to their full height, which comes to about 5'5", a little on the short side. After that raspy voice, they pull back their hood, and you see very sallow features. The eyes look a little bit sunken, the skin looks a little pale, otherwise very human looking. The hair is only about shoulder length. It looks a little wispy and looks like it's starting to gray. What would have been black is much lighter and the very like dark salt and pepper sort of range. But otherwise the eyes are very bright. And they look as though they're piercing right through you, taking in everything, just kind of studying you. And after a couple of seconds, the figure just smiles and, well, no one ran screaming. I'll take that as a good sign.
Hey, y'all, last time I saw something like this, the thing turned into a snake and jumped out.
Is that nice to say about our friend here?
Herb would like to reach into his small pouch that he has on his waist and pull out a tiny jar of what is essentially beeswax mixed with a little bit of oil and walk up and hand it to the person. This might help.
Oh, and what is this, dear?
Moisturizer?
Oh, no, thank you. I appreciate the gesture, but I've tried many things.
Well, I definitely see why you have all the shades down. There's not much sun coming in here.
Which, as you look around, there's no windows. Yes. No, the sun does not pain me. But it is sometimes a reminder of what was lost. Anyway, on to business, if you folks are all right with that.
Erg nods slowly and kind of embarrassedly, putting the jar of beeswax and oil back in their pack.
I shall be succinct, not brief, but very to the point. I am dying. From what, I do not know. The priests and doctors that I have seen point towards numerous things. The most recent being some form of growth up here. And she taps the back of her head. And thus far at least, no remedies, arcane, divine, natural, or otherwise, seem to help. But I may have come into some good luck, and I need fine folks such as yourself to go in my stead, because I am no longer as I once was.
Ma'am, don't take this the wrong way or anything, but are you going to be around long enough for us to help you?
That remains to be seen.
Well, if we can do anything to help you out so that you don't die, I would certainly love to help out with that. What about you guys?
Well, I would love to help. Can we arrange a contingency plan for payment? Just in case.
Well,
Well, we can just do this to help another person.
Yeah,
I
I'm
already
all
have
for that.
documents written up. I would not expect you, anybody, to put their lives in danger for a stranger without appropriate compensation. Especially if I were to pass, that would be unfortunate.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Again, no disrespect intended, of course. I just want to make sure we can understand one another.
No disrespect intended and none taken. Please, I am, in my recent years, a merchant. I have dealt with shrewder people than you.
Well, thank you.
But if you folks will agree, I need you to investigate some rumors for me. I believe, and as she begins talking again, she starts very slowly making her way over to the desk. And as she does, she turns and kind of gestures to the two very big comfy chairs by the fireplace, and then you see on the other side of one of the chairs a few small wooden ones. Please, take a seat. But I believe that there is a tomb, which, now I forgot the name of it. Look at me being a great DM.
It's okay. The character's ill and sickly and has a growth in her head. I think she might be able to forget something, and it's okay.
Yes, of course. Sorry, my memory is not quite what it used to be. But I believe that there is a tomb within the Trollbark Forest to the north of here. Some of the rumors and information that I have found says that there may be information from the nearby residents, we'll say, of undead. Some overlooked information from a bygone era, I hope. Sorry. And I need inconspicuous folks like yourself to go and investigate this for me and to bring back whatever it is you find. If you agree, I am willing to pay a very handsome sum, in the order of 500 gold for each of you. You will also be able to keep the majority of whatever it is you find. All I want is any information that you find and any sufficiently powerful artifact that might be able to help with this condition. Whether or not you will... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, well, that sounds reasonable.
Indeed. Now, I have no guarantee of, frankly, there being anything, but, well, this is adventuring and treasure hunting. But if you agree, I will also help you facilitate the travel. I know the Trollbark Forest is probably about a week's ride north of here. And, well, we do not know if we even have that time, so I've already arranged with a friend of mine to teleport you to Dragonspear Castle. But a day and a half, 2 days ride from the edge of the forest. Does this sound amenable?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, yes, it sounds like a great adventure, and especially to help out another. Oh, this is just a grand opportunity. I'm honored that you did allow us to help you like this.
Ferg nods vigorously as Meg talks because she's better at vocalizing these things.
Yeah, this sounds definitely helpful. We're happy to help. Oh, man, that sword might come faster than I thought.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, if we are all agreed. And she comes shuffling back over with like a small clipboard, just a small wooden tray with some papers on it with a quill. If you're amenable, please. This is mostly to protect you folks. In the case of my passing, there would be no one to dispute the fact that you would be owed the same sum of money if I were to pass before your return. I gain nothing from attempting to swindle anybody, frankly. And
Well,
so
I don't think you would be trying to swindle us. We definitely want to help as much as we can, and we'll try to be as quick as we can as well.
As much as haste would be of value, I believe more thorough investigating would be better. What is the phrase? Haste makes waste?
That is a good point. That is a very good point. We'll definitely have to keep that in mind.
Excellent. And then she holds the tray out with the paper and the quill for anybody to come up and take from her to sign.
Ferg will let somebody else sign first because he's probably going to need all the remaining space. Because he likes to sign his name big.
So I guess Medga gets up and goes.
My character sheet. I forgot how.
Oh,
is this like a typical contract, or is there something to it? Is there like fine print?
You are not actually seeing much in the way of fine print. Across the top, it merely states that I, Sindra Sylvain, hereby bequeath unto the, and in parentheses, name stated below, that they are owed the sum of money of 500 gold if they return and I am no more. Essentially, I'm parsing it a little bit. Otherwise, they are owed the same sum of money if they do return with, and then again in parentheses, aforementioned verbally spoken items.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it. And then it just leaves a few lines for names to be signed. And then you can actually see right next to the I, Sindra Sylvain, across the top, it looks like her name is already signed.
Yeah, Begder got up there and signed.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Siptali will sign.
Fantastic. Will it just be the two of you, or are all five going?
Oh, I'm just waiting my turn.
I go ahead and write my full name in Elvish calligraphy.
That is beautiful handwriting.
Oh, well, thank you.
Of course, it is rare that I find signatures in anything other than common.
Well, Mama always said that if I'm gonna do something official, then I need to state my name proudly, especially in official capacity.
Fair enough. That is a skill that could potentially be useful in an arena such as mine.
And can you tell my mama was the elf?
Indeed.
Herg will go ahead and put a symbol of two swords crossing with the letter H where they cross for the symbol for his family.
Ah, you must be of the sword steels, yes.
Oh, you've heard of us? I didn't know we got this far east, other than just me and my brothers talking about it. Oh, this is my brother, by the way, Spike Swordsteel. Spike, you want to sign the thing for the nice lady? Spike, aka Jason. Jason!
Yes. Okay, I'm coming.
And you gonna sign the paper, Spike?
What paper?
Get on the headphones and listen to what's going on. Sorry.
No, it's all good, don't worry.
Jason, are you on the headphones yet?
Yes.
Alright. Well, you need to pay attention, remember? So the lady asked us to sign a piece of paper to sign our characters to sign a name on the piece of paper. Are you gonna go sign your name?
I guess.
Okay.
Wonderful, thank you. And yes, I have heard of the sword steels before. It is good for one to stay informed, even if I am not a competitor within that industry. It's good to have contacts.
Oh well. Thanks for paying attention, I guess. He kind of rubs the back of his head.
Of course. And with that, I believe we have official business now. So, whenever you folks are ready, my steward can take you to my teleportation circle, where you will be sent to Dragonspear Castle. And from there, my friend, who is in charge of Dragonspear, Sir Isteval, he can lead you from there. But please, there is no rush. Leave at your own convenience.
Is there anything we can kill there?
Probably, Spike.
Hey, murder is always a good thing.
He means dispatching monsters. He's just really excited to show off his swords. You've heard of us. You know how my younger brother can be.
Can you
murder something that's undead?
Murder! Die! Die!
Jason, Jesus.
I'm gonna go clean my ears of blood again.
We talked about this. No yelling into the microphone. Alright. Yeah, he's been cooped up in the city for a couple of days, and he really likes purging countryside of evil things, so this is probably the best for everybody, says Herg, kind of awkwardly.
I need to get anything before we get out?
I've got hat.
Hey, do we know how much potions cost in the city? And do we have base knowledge of that?
Oh, I completely forgot. I'm a dumbass. Okay, so this will be for future reference. Anything that is officially an item within any of the official books, you guys can actually purchase and download right into your character sheet. Which, everybody, please open up your character sheets.
Okay.
How do I do that again?
You go to the top right, and you see all the little people clustered in a circle. You click on the little people. There's a file that says Wednesday. You click on Wednesday, and then you click on the name of your character, Spike Swordsteel.
Would it be under consumables?
No. Or yes, but hold on, because I don't think you went through what I need you to go through.
Okay, I'm on the character sheet.
Yeah. Excuse me. So yes, go into the character sheet. In the top right, you'll see the 3 little dots.
Uh-huh.
When you click on that, one of the drop downs that you have should be Equipment Shop.
Okay.
If you click on that, you will have a pop-up window. Yes?
Yes.
I only see one that says a certain word and then options.
And that's after clicking the 3 dots next to the X in your character sheet?
That's correct.
Huh.
What are we supposed to? Is it the equipment shop?
Yes, that's what I need you guys to click.
Okay, I found equipment shop.
Yeah, I got it, no problem. I think I did this to get my crossbow last time.
Yeah.
Wait, no, hold on. It worked. Well, no, that brought up. Hold up.
I know where it is, so I'll look at it later.
But yes.
Okay. All right, hold on. I got it. See, I was gonna say I have to be popped in to do it, but I got it.
Okay, good. Yeah, after you click on that, you will have a pop-up window. It says Equipment up in the top left, and then right beneath it, it says Choose Item Sources.
Yep.
Click on that, and then you'll have another pop-up window that looks familiar. Make sure 5e Tools is the one checkmarked, and then hit Confirm. And then that will load every available item from essentially everything. You can filter the gear however you wish, to help fine-tune things based on properties or what type of item it is. If you want to just look at weapons, if you want to look at food, if you want to look at tools.
You can buy a ship.
You can buy a ship. And
I
then...
can't afford a ship, but we can buy one.
But after you filter it and see the items that you want, you can click on the eye on the left to see item information, or click on the arrow on the right-hand side of it. That will add it to your cart, which is the entire right-hand side of the window. And then after you have everything, hit confirm. It should ask you to confirm again. And then after that, it will automatically deduct the cost from your inventory.
Oh,
Potions are expensive.
Hell yeah, they are.
Hey, Keyleth. Did you add in my thing that we were talking about? The grappling hook thing?
Not yet, no.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if I could buy it yet.
I thought what he said was that you could make one.
I like the sticky root thing. That sounds interesting. Is that how you say it?
Spell it.
Theki?
I have no idea what that is.
Apparently, it's a thick marsh root that tastes bitter, but it helps aid digestive health. You use it to consume, and you gain advantage on saving throws against poison or toxic substances.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Ah, that's wild mount. Okay, so that's actually, we're not going to have that.
So we can just buy this at our leisure?
Okay.
Yes, technically, but please let me know if and when you buy things, because I don't want it to be a case of you guys sneaking around buying something because you know it would be helpful in a situation, but you didn't think to get it while you were back in the city.
Okay, so no buying that. Got it.
Yeah, anything, almost anything that's from Wildmount or Eberron as far as natural substances, i.e. roots, weeds, flowers, anything like that, will be a no-go because they don't grow in Faerun. Anything else, though, even like other magical items from those places, perfectly fine.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, also, there is a grappling hook in there. Honestly, you can just buy that, and it's flavored however you wish.
Okay, yeah, because that one you were showing me from the other thing was cool.
The rope caster. That one.
Yeah.
Did I import that? No, I don't think I imported it yet. Where are you?
You can buy a bucket?
Yeah, you can buy a bucket. You want a bucket? Buy a bucket.
Okay. No,
Hey.
not really.
Buy a bucket of fried chicken here at KFC.
Hey, y'all, what's our food store look like?
Rations.
I don't know if do we have a tent? Anybody?
I don't think so.
All right.
We're teleporting, so I don't know if that matters too much.
True,
We're
not
still
to
going
get
to have
there,
to
but
travel a little bit to get there, though. She said about
that's-
1 to 2 days after the teleport.
that's what I was thinking.
I have the ability to push a bunch of leaves together and use them as a pretty nice bed. I camp. I have proficiency in survival.
Oh, that might come in handy.
I have murder weapons.
Yeah, we all have those. I have a bedroll, so I put the bedroll on top of the pile of very nice cushy leaves that I've pushed together, and then it's pretty nice.
It says I can buy a goat. Does that mean goat meat or goat?
Depends.
It says it just says goat.
Yeah, which would you prefer?
Hey, Kayla,
Yes.
I'm buying a 2-person tent.
Sounds good.
I think I might buy a rations, a 2-person tent, and I think a cow trip.
I think everybody should start with like 10 days worth of rations.
Oh damn.
Yeah, I could swear everyone started with either 5 or 10 from their starting packs, but maybe not. Anyway, I don't care. Yeah, you all have 5 rations.
Wait a minute. I
so-
only had one. I had 1 day's worth.
Yeah, you have 1 day's worth, but you have 2 of them. That's in the next set of parentheses. From what I am seeing there.
Okay. So I need to. How?
Just in your inventory over on the right-hand side, the little box with the pencil in it.
Mm-hmm.
Click that.
There it is. Quantity. There it is.
There you
I
go.
have 10.
You said 10, right?
Yeah, I could swear everyone started with either 5 or 10. If you already have 5, stay to 5. If you have 10, go up to 10. If you have less than 5, pick one.
I have 10 torches, 10 rations, 1 water skin, 50 feet of rope, a hunting trap, a backpack, a pouch, a bedroll, a mess kit, a tinderbox, and some kind of trophy from an animal that I've killed. It's my vest. My vest is made of fur.
I have a bell.
Oh, animal murder is always funny.
No. No, it's not.
Yeah, I only have 5 days of rations, but I think that'll be okay.
Erg will share if you are hungry. He has 10 days. Or we could just hunt and gather.
Yeah, I guess so.
So it didn't automatically add the tent to my inventory. Should I go ahead and add it? Like it deducted the pay, but it didn't add it to my inventory.
Yeah, scroll to the bottom.
Okay. See, small knife, quill, ink.
It'll be at the end of the category. So, for example, the tent would be under loot.
Okay, yeah, maybe my start bar is just too big. I don't see it, but I'll take your word for it.
Hit F11.
Okay.
I believe that should have full screened you.
It did not.
Well, drag your inventory up until you can see the bottom, or I believe you can resize. There should be an arrow, a double arrow in the very bottom right corner. That should let you resize your character sheet if it's too big or too small.
Okay. Yeah, because even when I pop out, it doesn't show me that I have it.
What's the very last item you see in your inventory in the loot?
Okay, I see it. Hold on, I see it. It's cut off, but I assume that's the tent. Because last
Does
time
it kind of have a green sort of at the bottom? Is it sort of like green and black logo icon? Sort of the same as if you had like a blanket or something as well?
Not sure because I see small knife and something right under it.
Oh, you got a few things you're not seeing then. If small knife's the last one.
Hmm.
Anyway, it's all good. It's in your inventory. We're hunky dory.
Okay, works for me. Now I have to because the screen is not particularly large, so I will have to play with this to see if I can minimize the toolbar.
Yeah, what we can do afterwards or during a break is if you share your screen, we can try and troubleshoot.
You can buy a donkey
And a chicken.
Probably gonna
and a cow
guts out.
We can have our own farm.
and a camel, apparently, too.
You could. I won't stop you.
There's no chameleon or gecko.
Is there lizard?
Didn't see one. I didn't see one.
Oh.
All right.
I don't see anything I want, so I'm ready.
Yeah, I think I made sure we got a tent, so I think I'm all set.
Do they have here?
All right. Well, if you folks are set.
I'm not yet.
You are.
Okay. I really can't wait to do some mass murder.
Okay.
Family of love at its finest.
You really need to stop calling it that, brother.
That's literally what it is. I'm gonna go on a rampage.
No.
Should I be worried for my safety?
No. He only goes after evil things. He's just very eager.
I'm gonna be going on a rampage at evil things.
See?
You know, Spike. I used to run with a bunch of people. There's kind of this kid that you really remind me of him. Oh, his name was Bronze Hammer, I think.
Yeah, I know that guy. He actually stopped by my store once. That's where we got his bronze hammer from.
Bucephalus
okay.
never knew Bronze Hammer. He knew the other person, Shadow Nightblade.
Oh, I thought Bronze Hammer was the previous campaign.
Nope, that was Shadow Nightblade. Bronze Hammer was the one before that.
Oh, my bad. Never mind. I take it all back.
The dwarf you're thinking of from the last campaign was Bathilda.
They start with B's. They're short. They have beards.
She did have a beard.
It is very ladylike beard, though.
Yes, extremely.
But anyway, yeah, I remember Bronze Hammer.
Okay, are we ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's go murder some evil. Let's go on an evil rampage.
The vigor of youth. Where would I had it?
If everything goes well, you might have it again, right?
That is the plan, yes. But my stewardess will take you upstairs. Thank you, and best of luck.
Thank you.
Well, of course, and we appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, thanks very much.
No, please, the pleasure is all mine. And she kind of very slowly walks over to the door to the study and holds it open for you folks and is gesturing you for you to go out.
Herg goes out first this time.
Make as follows.
I'm just here to murder some evil. I am coming in behind.
Okay.
I'll be last.
And making a way out of the study, you go back down that excuse me, like 30-foot hallway, and you can already see the door being held open by the stewardess.
Are you all ready to start killing things?
I'm ready to help this older person not die.
Okay.
Quick question. I assume it's safe to assume you guys still see Baldur's Gate in Foundry?
It's
Gray.
Gray.
It's gray.
Floating.
Damn. Okay. The joys of changing
Man,
to a
once I
giant
get
map.
to kill something, I'm probably going to continuously stab it.
Hey, is the old lady walking with us?
No.
Nope.
Okay. Hey, I just say quietly, hey, y'all, didn't you think it was terribly ironic? You said she had a growth on her head, and yet she was like the size of my hip?
I don't normally comment on other people's physical deformities.
I just, it's a fascinating word choice.
Oh, okay.
He's very shrewd.
Well, I was just expecting her pants to be a little bit more fancy because we heard about them.
Yeah, they were more like a robe, weren't they? She wasn't even wearing pants.
Maybe she didn't. Maybe she didn't expect us. She wasn't expecting company. So
I mean,
and of
you
course
don't want to get your
she's
fancy
feeling
pants dirty.
right, and she was feeling under the weather. So it is possible. I always like to wear comfy clothes also if you're not feeling too good. So I guess it makes sense.
And what's comfier than a robe?
True.
Man, I feel like we were rude. We didn't offer to lance the thing.
I'm thinking.
Well, do you have a medical degree, sir? I don't think we necessarily want to.
Why would you even try to do that?
She already talked to a lot of doctors, and I don't think we could do any better with trying to lance something.
Agreed.
Yeah, you're probably right.
If you folks are ready, please, the circle is this way.
I'm
following. This is exciting. I don't think I've ever been teleported before.
Best of luck then on the exit.
But don't blame me. We are all probably going to die.
Hey, is this the woman who met us originally? It's leading us to the teleportation device?
Yes.
Hey, ma'am, real quick. And I just kind of talked to her privately. Hey, what spell did you use to clean all this up like that?
Spell?
Yes, ma'am. Come on now.
Please, it is called practice.
Oh, okay.
Even the use of magic is simply practice.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I was wondering if you could teach me how to do that if we have a second, if it's simple.
And she kind of looks you up and down. And you do not seem to have the adequate training. I apologize.
All right, fair enough. Hey, if we get back, can we postpone that conversation?
You do not seem born of magic. You do not seem to be dedicated to any particular deity. Thus, the only path remaining would be the one of rigorous study. Thus, weeks, months, years of reading and training before even the simplest of spells will come to you.
Oh, fair enough.
I think she means you need to be a wizard, boo-boo.
Yeah, I know. Oh, wait, we're talking in character. My bad. Oh, yeah.
Wizards, magus, mage, caster. There are numerous words. They're all but the same. It is someone who has spent a lifetime studying the arcane. I have had the pleasure of working for one such, and she nods in the general direction of the study. She is quite the interesting one. Always full of ideas.
Well, hopefully we'll be able to keep her around for longer so she can keep giving you more ideas. Oh, look, the map popped up.
Hey,
I'm
fantastic.
still waiting. It's still gray for me.
Pop up for me.
I got one person though. That's I call that a success suddenly.
I think if you click on the part that says Faerun, it goes faster because that's what I did.
I did that already, and it's still gray.
Oh, okay.
Same here.
And I tried preloading the scene so that this wouldn't happen, but
Eventually.
I swear to God, I really want to punch something.
Oh dear. No
That
punching.
too.
I am going to be right back while everybody else loads, though. I gotta use the facilities.
yep, we can take a quick few minutes while we wait for people to load.
Well, Cat's on there. Okay, I guess I'll.
By the way, Caleb, you know what I was thinking about?
No.
Oh, well, it was rhetorical. I was thinking I might have to go with the fighter wizard route. Because, like, I was thinking about Eldritch Knight, and I was looking, I'm like, it seems somewhat limited, and we don't really have any magical firepower.
Well, except that's literally what they have. Because you start getting wizard spells.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything I saw only showed, like, defensive spells up to, like, 4th level, though.
You can only learn up to 5th level spells because you went the fighter route.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how come everybody else is on there except for me, damn it?
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I see everybody now.
Sheesh.
Yeah, it's a big ass map. I think I showed you guys this map before. Yes,
I believe so.
I could swear I did. But yeah, no, you
Wait,
cannot.
so even if I
can't-
subclass, I can only get 5th level?
So I can zoom in, but I can't zoom out.
Yeah, you can't zoom out all the way. It's too big.
Ah.
Foundry will not let you because this map is too large. But it is also scaled properly. So
Okay.
if you use the measuring tool over on the left, there's a little person. If you click on that and you click the little ruler, that will give you the measuring tool, and you can actually accurately measure between two places.
Okay. Okay. So, never mind.
But for you, Billy, the Eldritch Knight is specifically the fighter, like the sword mage subclass of fighters. It's you take the base fighter class, everything that you get from that.
Right.
The was it ASIs, the ability score improvements every couple of levels. You get the action surge, you get the second wind, you get indomitable, you get the extra attacks, all of that as your base. And then you're adding in the ability to take spells. They cannot give you access to the entire list because that would be way too powerful.
Okay.
So you are granted access to a certain level of spells because a 28th level fighter that did not have to spend levels to get wizard stuff, being able to get meteor swarm, yeah, no thank you. As a DM, I do not want my players to have that sort of power.
Okay.
I love you guys. I like my world right like how it is. To get past 5th level spells, you would need to go one of these spellcasting classes and get to the appropriate level.
Okay. So, because I was thinking, because like if I went like a fighter wizard subclass, or not subclass, but a dual class, could I appropriate and get the appropriate levels for that? Can you go back and forth between the two, or?
Yeah, you can take as many levels in as many classes as you wish. If you wish to dual class, have at it.
Noticed that one of the forests is called the High Forest, and I just want to know what is the forest on?
Yeah, so maybe Eldritch Knight is the way to go.
Acid.
I am back.
Can you get cantrips as an Eldritch Knight at any point?
Yes, you get cantrips right at level 3.
Oh, okay.
I believe you get 2.
Okay.
Did my child just ask what the forest is on?
Yeah.
Yes, and I responded with acid.
Okay.
Because it's the high forest.
I'm assuming he meant, was it on a mountain? Because that's the only proper assumption that an 11-year-old child should be making. Is that correct, Jason?
Yeah, the context was that.
I was literally asking what it was on.
Yeah, there.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, there was no semblance of any other context there.
Nope.
I hope not.
No, totally. Anyway, so if everybody is back and ready,
Woo.
So to give an idea of precisely where our locations are, we started here, down in Baldur's Gate, which if you guys look, I think you should be able to. If you zoom in real close, you should be able to see just to the right of the dot on Baldur's Gate a little map note. Yes?
I forget how
Click
to.
it again.
I forget how to zoom it in again.
Ah, there it is. Cool.
All right, can you see the map note?
Does the
Let
map
me
note
see.
look like
Yes.
does it look like a castle?
Yes, a little bit. It should light up orange and say Baldur's Gate when you put your cursor over it.
Yes.
Can all of you folks right-click that?
I don't see a note.
How do you manipulate the map again?
It says view scene when I do that. Do I then want to click on view scene?
No, you do not.
Okay.
Only because it took 10 minutes to get you guys to this map. I don't want you to go off it yet. But no, you will see a lot of those map notes in other places. I've only got 2 on this big one. One that leads into Baldur's Gate and one that leads into Icewind Dale. Yes, I realize, Heather, I will attempt to get that fixed.
It's okay.
It's slightly irritating that as many times as I fix all of this stuff, it proceeds to break again. All right, let's do that. Observer, save. All right, do you see it now? Right here.
No.
All good. We'll get it fixed at some point. It's unimportant at the moment, but
okay.
When you folks see those, if you have permissions, which I don't see why you wouldn't, yeah, please feel free to go hop between maps however you wish. I will not stop you. There might be information on other maps for you to look at and to read. If anything is there, it is intentionally there for you. Precisely, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, I don't have that on my map.
Okay, you might need to refresh, but please don't worry about it right now.
Okay. How would I refresh them? Like the whole...
Just hit F5. Oh, you hit it. Hopefully you'll be able to get back in without too much trouble.
I hope so. We'll find out.
I see where we're
Aaron.
going.
Yes, you already see.
I saw where we're going too, so.
To drag everybody else over, this is where we will be teleporting to, a room within the Dragonspear Castle. Currently
loaded.
Command of one Sir Istival. And you were given directions to somewhere within the Trollbark Forest, which you can obviously see very close to the castle. If you pull open your rulers, so over on the left, there's a little person icon at the very top. That is the token selector. It initially starts with you being able to just select tokens, but the middle one, it looks like a little ruler. You can measure between any points on here, and it will be accurate. I made sure of that. Yes.
120 miles! Woo!
That's a lot of miles.
That is.
That is not where you're going.
Okay.
How do you spell his name? Service Duval, was it?
What?
I will put it in the notes chat for you folks.
I thought he said Istival.
Sir Istival.
Yes, Sir Istival.
Yeah, Sir Istival.
Service Tival.
Definitely came around. Thank you.
But yes, no, this is where we will be going. The stewardess leads you fine folks upstairs, chatting all the while. And she gets to one very heavy-looking door, a little on the larger side. And as she pushes it open, it definitely creaks under its own weight. She kind of pulls it back, and there's just a soft glowing coming from within this expansive room. And going in, you see right towards the middle the source of that soft light, and it looks like runes, just numerous, tens, maybe even 100 different runes, all inscribed in.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Hopefully they're evil inside of the ruins, so we can kill it.
It's not that kind of runes, baby. He means special symbols that are drawn on things.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes. But you see quite a few drawn very intricately around a circle, both on the inside, outside, and on the line itself. And all of those are aglow. And some of them don't seem to glow terribly bright in other colors, the predominant color being a very soft white coming off of it. That just seems to kind of fill the room with this gently ebbing ambience. You see all sorts of beakers, tables with equipment, bookshelves. This looks like a head-to-toe genuine laboratory within
Herc's
here.
mouth is wide open.
Careful. You might ingest something unsavory.
Herc slowly closes his mouth.
This is the culmination of a lot of work of the mistress. It is always a wonder to come in here and learn. And you see a very, very slight smile creeping onto the stewardess's face. But please, she already has it activated for you. It wouldn't do to keep it open for too long.
Oh, yes, of course. Where do we...
Step right into the circle, friend.
He jogs right over to stand in the circle, kind of looking at all the runes nervously, because he's never teleported anywhere before.
And you cross into the circle?
Yeah.
You vanish.
How is it... Gone. Mid-sentence.
And you guys are what?
That is a very quick teleporter, huh?
It is an open connection between 2 points, yes.
All right, well then let's get us going. And so Megda starts going over there, and she heard the stewardess say about the be careful on the other side, and she's like prepared to kind of bend with her knees there in case there's a little drop or anything. So she kind of walks in there, and I guess poof.
And yeah, it's just a few seconds after Herg disappears, and you step across the threshold and poof.
Hey, quick question. Now, I've kind of heard of magic like this before. I'm not going to reatomize with an arm in my chest or something, am I?
Sitlali rolls her eyes at Bucephalus's comment and just walks into the circle prepared.
Reatomize? That is not a term I'm familiar with. I apologize.
Yeah, you're fine. Am I going to come out of this intact?
If you don't, I believe that would be more your fault than Miss Sylvain's.
Oh, praise be Lathander. And I go in the portal.
Hey, Spike, you gonna go in the portal?
As long as there is evil on the other side that I can murder, then yes.
There's a castle of people who will take you to a forest where there's probably evil things to murder.
Then count me in! Murder time!
Remember, no yelling into the mic.
Okay then. Murder time.
You step in and poof. And everything goes dark for a second. You heard, you were definitely not expecting the instant transportation, and you're walking in, you're thinking you're about to stop, and you're like, oh, and then you just walk out, and it's just this very softly lit chamber, flickering candles. Definitely not the same place. It looks a little on the small side, more a destination room than anything else. But
there a door?
yes, straight ahead, in fact, already open, and you see a rather tall gentleman, probably a good 6.5 feet, in gleaming armor. Even in the candlelight, it reflects off of it, and it's just bright as can be.
Oh, he's the same height as I am.
Roughly.
I'm 6.5 feet tall.
He might be like an inch or two shorter, but it's give or take.
The armor does
He was
stuff.
5'7".
Yeah. But yeah, you just see him standing there, very close cropped hair. Say that 10 times fast. And like a very typical handlebar mustache. It looks like he grooms this thing meticulously. Kind of twirls up a little bit at the end. Aha! You must be friends, yes? Of Miss Sylvain?
Oh, yeah, she sent me, and there's people coming after me. People.
Oh, please get out of the way.
Oh, yep. Oh, yep. I go wherever he points me.
He just beckons you forward.
I stumble forward almost at a run to get away from people falling on top of me, probably.
Oh, yes. Open connections are always fun. It's her way of pranking people. I apologize that you were pulled into it, but you gotta let us old folk have our fun now and again, yes?
Yeah, gotta get your kicks where you can get them these days, right?
Indeed. Oh, and then you just hear poof right behind you, and you turn and see Megda.
I offer my hand to Megda so I can help pull her out of the way before somebody goes on top of her.
Exciting. Oh, I've never been teleported before.
Yep.
Oh, this is
Yep.
we're
Meg,
already in a building and everything.
This
well,
way,
hello.
hurry up before somebody falls on top of you. Hurry up.
Oh, of course.
I'm going.
And no sooner do you take a step than you hear poof right behind you, and then there's a shock of fur that starts to tickle the back of your neck as Sitlolly materializes.
Oh, sorry. Oh my goodness.
Hurry, Sitlolly, get out of the room, Sitlolly. There's gonna be coming after you.
I swiftly get out of the way.
And you take a couple of steps, and then you as well hear the poof, just as Bucephalus comes popping out.
All I'm doing is rolling around at the speed of sound.
Places to go, gotta follow my rainbow.
Boo Boo, quick, get out of the way before my brother comes in on top of you.
Stick around and keep moving on. Get what lies ahead, only one way to
Well, if we weren't going to be demonetized before, we sure are now.
I jump out of the way, but I immediately start inspecting to make sure I don't have any extra limbs or anything.
And you suddenly hop out of the way and kind of bump off against the wall, and you start looking. You look at your hands, count your fingers. 5, 6. What? 5. Okay, we're good. No extra limbs, no extra fingers. Wait, do you have 3 eyeballs? No, only 2.
Hasn't checked his feet yet, though.
Mm-mm.
Secretly, you've got 2 left feet now.
I don't think that's a secret from anybody.
But all of a sudden, as you're looking over yourself, you also hear the poof and just thunderous footsteps as Spike comes barreling through. And it's supposed to be like, oh dear, that was a quick one. Okay.
Yeah, my brother doesn't do things halfway.
Aaron, those were the shoes, not my feet, if you're referencing what I think you're referencing.
I wasn't actually referencing anything, and I'm very confused now.
Oh, I thought you were referencing me falling off the ladder.
Oh, no, I wasn't. I wasn't even thinking of that.
Oh, okay.
But now she is.
Yeah, now I am. Anyway.
Anyway, welcome to Dragonspear Castle. Only recently reacquired from the demon horde that controlled it. Is this everybody?
Oh, yeah. Oh, Spike, sorry, we missed the demon horde. Gosh darn it, next time maybe.
No, we're talking a few years ago. But it's all good. Another one will probably come around. Give it some time. Anyway.
Come on, I came in this portal expecting murder, and I can't do any.
He means murder of evil things. Don't worry, it's murder of evil things.
I should hope so. It's slightly worrisome. I mean, if you want to spar, we've always got men training if you wish to spar with them, but sadly, please don't murder them. We kind of need them. At any rate.
To murder evil stuff.
It's alright, it's alright.
Let me just point you in the right direction, my friend, and honestly, hopefully you don't bump into too many evil things, because with the direction you're going, I would not envy you folks if you were to bump into something genuinely nasty.
I think we'll be okay.
I should think you'll be okay as well. What do you folks know of the Warlock's Crypt?
That it's a place that we might find something to help the lady who sent us here. And also there might be some cool stuff inside too.
Oh dear God, no. Okay, that's worrisome. No. The Warlock's Crypt is actually an entire city of undead. You are not going there.
Oh, thank goodness.
That's good that you help clarify that.
Yes. No, and in fact, and I only know all of this from our dear co-friend, co-acquaintance, there we go, that's the word I was looking for. No, the Warlock's Crypt used to be known as Larlock's Crypt. And Larlock is a lich, once of the famous Empire of Netheril. I don't know how familiar you all are with that, but they're most well known for their powerful magic in flying cities that came crashing down when they got too full of themselves. And supposedly, according to some of the information that Sylvain found, there should be a crypt or a tomb in some form, and it surrounds a broken off spire from that city. Again, not entirely certain, but this is the information we're working with. And anything that is from a Netheril city indeed would have some very valuable information, or perhaps artifacts that survived the ages. We've managed to pinpoint the location of this tomb to probably a few miles from the edge of the forest. And I will mark it for you fine folks, so that way you actually know what I'm talking about.
It's still far.
Yes, indeed. It's likely to be a couple days hike. I don't know the exact distance, but that's where the location is. No, we're not worrying about whether or not you have a map, because I'm not terribly concerned.
I'm assuming Meg probably has a map. Meg probably has a map because she's the mom.
Yeah, I can see that.
She has a quote unquote, let me draw it here. Let me read it. A poorly wrought map of your homeland that depicts where you are in Faerun.
So yes, you do have a map. That's good.
It's not a very good map, but I got a map.
It's like a visitor's guide to Disney World, where all of the things are cartoonishly large, so you don't know what the actual size of them is, and there's just like approximate distances that could be real, and they might actually be longer than possible, but you get general directions, but you might have to like go through Epcot to get to certain things.
Yeah, like the castles, this Dragonspear castle is the same size as, the whole forest and yeah.
At any rate, please let us get above ground. God knows teleporting's never fun, and fresh air is always good afterwards.
Plus, there might be people coming in after us or something. From
Oh,
some other
God, I
place,
hope
right?
Hopefully there are, so I can jab their eyes out.
If they're evil. Ha 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 ha. Erg
I think
pulls
that
Spike
one needs
along
help.
with him. He's just really tired of being cooped up in a city. Let's just get him out in the forest, find him some giant spiders. Everything will be just fine.
Indeed. Anyway, please follow me. And he starts leading you through some very windy corridors, all of them lit by torches or very soft, glowing gemstones set in sconces every so often. After only about 30 seconds to a minute, he leads you up to a door and opens it, and walking out onto, I just forgot the name, ramparts. There we go. And looking out, you see you actually can kind of see most of the rolling hills of the Sword Coast, kind of out to the south and west, if I can do my cardinal directions. Looking north, you can see the mire and the bog that is the High Moor, very swampy area. That's country roads.
Take me home.
And then way, 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 way off in the distance, you can actually see perhaps the beginnings of what is the Trollbark Forest from this high up vantage point. Because the Dragonspear Castle itself is set up on high hillsides. And then you're on top of a good 20, 30 foot castle wall. And this is a genuine castle fortress. And you can hear men and horses and just all sorts of general cacophony of fortress life going on down in the courtyards below. And you can see men walking the ramparts with bows and crossbows. You can see all sorts of people. You can see their families down below kind of going about their daily business. It's almost a little bit like city life, but packed into a little bit of a smaller space. But otherwise, this place is actually pretty freaking big. So, do you folks have any other questions?
The place where we're going to, do you know anything specific about it that we should be looking out for?
All I really know is that it's some form of tomb. Given what it's supposed to be surrounding, I would assume an elven tomb in some form, because they're most known for that sort of thing. Other than that, there might be things to fight. I honestly don't know. Most likely there's going to be puzzles in some form.
Have there been any specific threats in the area that might be wandering around that maybe don't have anything to do with the tomb that we should be on the lookout for?
Well, bandits, of course. This is the tradeway, at least the tail end of it. And especially the Trollbark Forest, you will definitely have to be on your guard in there. Giant spiders, of course, bandits, and more specifically, once you get within the forest confines, zombies, ghouls, various sorts of undead. You will be... Yes?
Oh, I just wanted to ask if I may, because you mentioned zombies, ghouls, and the like. Do you have any holy water we could borrow or use?
Certainly. I believe we should be able to find some.
You know, Meg's a cleric. She can bless water, and that it's holy water.
Yeah, I just would like to have some, just as a backup.
Here, Meg, bless my water skin.
Hold on, I think that's a ceremony or something. Give me a second.
Ritual.
I believe the ceremony spell is what's used for that.
Yeah, because I think. Let me find my spells. I'm still getting used to the organization. I do have my ceremony spell handy. Okay, here you go.
I give my now blessed water flask to Billy and take his water flask instead.
Oh damn, that's a ritual spell? Oh shit. Alright, I'm gonna have to start breaking this game now. Oh my god.
There you go, Bobo.
Hey, yeah, thank you. Do you have an extra one?
You just got
Maybe
one.
tomorrow.
Oh, no. Hold on. Something you might not be aware of. Ritual spells. It's for starters, spells are always prepared once you prepare them. Casting one does not mean you unprepare it. You just cast it using a spell slot.
Okay.
When a spell is a ritual spell, what you can do, instead of using a spell slot, you can take 10 minutes to cast it instead of, oh shit, it's an hour cast time anyway.
We stood there for an hour while she...
Okay, well, you don't have to worry about this because this is not going to be a combat spell. So, no, it's a ritual. You don't have to use a spell slot to do it.
Okay.
But over the course of that hour, you focus on the spell. If you're interrupted, you have to restart. But if you folks,
like 10 times, and you have to keep starting over.
If you are able to cast the spell, you get the effect, and you don't use a spell slot to do it.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, the way that you can tell if the spell is a ritual spell or not, if you go into your spell book, which I know currently the ceremony one's open because I'm looking at it through your spell book, there's a little R in a gray circle. The other stuff, the V, S, and M, is the spell components that are needed, verbal, somatic, or material. And then the C in a little circle is concentration. Where it's,
so I don't need to concentrate for this ceremony, or no, I do because it's a ritual. So rituals and C's would both have concentration parts?
So rituals, you don't need to concentrate, but any spell that's interrupted, you have to restart. Concentration is more of a combat mechanic where you have to focus on the spell for the duration of it.
Okay.
And if you take damage, you have to make a concentration check or you lose the effects of that spell.
Okay.
Yeah, with that said, would you still have that holy water handy?
If you don't mind waiting a little while, it may take a bit to get that all together, but we can definitely get that done for you.
Oh, I mean, thank you. I appreciate that. I just want to make sure, because the gentleman said that he might have some extra too. I just want to make sure we have all that we could need.
He said that. I don't think he said that
He said he said that he had one. We should have some right here, and then y'all were talking about the spell.
Does anybody have any extra bells? Sorry, that was out of character. I apologize.
It's all good.
I don't have any bells, but I have a flute.
I'm sorry, I'm just really tired.
I'm sorry. We can get wrapped up at 9 if you would like.
No, it's fine. This is just in general tiredness. It's not.
I get that.
I guess I'll wait till he comes back to see if they have any extra bells I can buy.
He has not actually walked off yet.
Okay. Do you by any chance have any bells?
That is quite the interesting request. I believe we should have a bell around here. On the house. He cocks an eyebrow at that, as it were. As far as holy water goes, honestly, I don't know if we have any, but I will certainly check.
Thank you for checking.
No, of course. But especially if you folks have your own way of making holy water, I don't see why you would need ours.
If we only have time to make one, I want to make sure we have a few containers if possible.
It's understandable. It's all good. But yes, if you folks want to go wait down by the gate, I can meet you there in probably a couple of minutes, hopefully.
Ferg heads for the gate.
Meg does too.
How would I add that if I do receive it?
Holy water?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we'll have to use compendiums for this because he's not going to actually charge you guys for it. And so let me make sure that it is in the compendium. And it is. Wonderful. So Over on the right, you should see in the very top right corner, there's it looks like a little book in between the music note and the gears.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
That is the compendiums browser. And that will show all of the compendiums that you folks should have access to. You won't see all of them because I don't know how to give you access to all of them, but there should be a few that say items, hopefully. It is all alphabetical. I don't know if you see the actors one at the top with stuff in there, but there's another category called item, and then beneath that should be a bunch that you folks see. Yes?
Yeah. Yeah, it's item and then a bunch of subclasses for item.
Yeah. So look for the folders that actually say items. There should be one that says items SRD, and then there should be one or two that just say items.
While we wait, Herg would like to consult with Meg over her comically large drawn map.
All right, so yeah, there's a couple sections that just say items. You have items with a certain word attached, and then
Click
item.
that one.
Do SRD, and then it says, I think, it should just say SRD next to it, and then you can type in holy in the search bar, and it has flask of holy water.
Yes. For anything that is not purchased, this will and is not in a loot container that I prepared ahead of time. This will be how you will drag and drop items into your character sheet otherwise, and this is how we did it for your crossbow, Heather.
Okay.
But I've got to go to the bathroom.
You're good.
Okay.
So would he have the bell? Yes, no, maybe so.
I don't know. He hasn't made it back yet.
Darn it.
So what is it that Herg and Megda wish to discuss?
Oh, he just wanted to try and plan out the route with Mama Meg because she's got the map. So he's just trying to figure out how far we can get before it gets dark.
How do you drag and drop it in there? Because it just provided me with the description.
Click, hold, and drag from the compendium directly into your character sheet.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, cool. Got it. Thank you.
Wonderful, of course. And you find folks would know that going at a pretty quick pace, like if you were to essentially jog the vast majority of the way, you could probably make it about 30 miles within a day. Right now, it's about midday. I think that's where we left off. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you could probably get about a good 15 or so miles before it starts getting dark enough to make it dangerous traveling. If you decided, welcome back. If you guys decided to continue on, like start traveling a little bit into the evening and night, you could definitely make it a little further. If you go at just more of a normal pace, mostly walking, but at a brisk walking pace, you could make it probably normally in the mid-20s for miles. You'd make it about half that today. And if you guys took it slow, just kind of sedate walking, you'd make it about 18 miles normally, or about half that today.
So we'd just make it down the hill.
So we'd make it halfway to the point, right?
Today, unless you guys were to really push yourselves, you would not make it halfway today, because you would only be traveling for about 5 or 6 hours, give or take.
Herg's goal, as he's looking at the map, is to try and get to a point where they can camp on top of a hill so they'd be able to see all the place around them.
Oh, that's easy enough. Don't use the big Foundry map as a terrain thing. Trust me, you can see plenty of hills.
Okay, cool. All right. So kind of using the map and also pointing across the ground that they can see from the vantage point that we've got at Dragonspear Castle. He kind of points out a hill that seems like it might be in a walkable distance, about the amount of miles we discussed off, so that maybe we could get to that point to camp on it, so we'd be able to see stuff coming at us.
Okay.
All right. As you guys are in the midst of discussing that and you're starting to point it out, First of all walks back up. And you could actually hear him coming because there's this kind of like deep tinkling sound. And he walks over to sit and just kind of nonchalantly hands a bell over. And it's just kind of a normal looking bell, maybe about the size of your fist, a little bigger. It's got the knocker and it's got a small loop on the top of it, so it's probably what would have been a hanging bell. It's not like one of the hand choir bells with a stick in it.
Jingle bell.
Jingle
Wonderful.
bell.
Ting ting.
Rock.
Oh, thank you so much.
No, of course. Not quite sure why you would need it, but more power to you.
I have my reasons.
Indeed.
Well,
All right, well.
Thank you for setting us up with bells and such.
Hey.
Really appreciate it.
Hey, sir, about that second holy water.
And Herg's just gonna start walking.
Yes, I do apologize. I talked to the priest. Sadly, we have none that we can spare at the moment.
All right, well,
we have our own troubles, and so we have to keep our garrison stocked.
Well, thank you for asking.
Water when we've got murder weapons and spells.
Yeah, come on, Spike.
I have my reasons.
I'm coming because I want murder of evil.
Perfect.
Question, Mr. Sir Isteval. Now, you kind of pointed out the general direction. Do you happen to know if there's any, maps of the area that we might be traveling to, or of that, you said of that spire by chance? Like any further maps or further details, things that we can keep an eye out for?
Sadly, no. Trust me, I wish, but every time we attempted to map the area further into the Trollbach Forest, especially around that specific point, some form of magic is protecting it. It's strange.
Oh, okay.
And
definitely want to keep our eye out for that. Any landmarks on the way we should keep an eye out for to make sure we're going in the right direction?
Once you get within the forest, look for, oh my god, I forgot the word, statues.
Oh, okay.
You should see some statues in some form. That should mark the, kind of like the edges of the territory that the tomb is contained within.
All right, absolutely. I do appreciate that. Thank you.
No, of course. I think the easiest way to find it will actually be to almost get lost. Because if you are genuinely feeling lost, but you kind of know where you are, it means you're being influenced by magic in some form.
Definitely need to keep that in mind.
All right. Are there any other accommodations I can make for you folks? If you wish to stay the night here, I certainly won't stop you, and you can set off at first light. Or if you wish to travel now and start making it there quicker, I won't stop you.
Wish to start traveling so I can kill things.
Yep.
Well, I think we should probably just start going. We definitely want to try to help Miss Sylvain as quickly as possible. Of course, we want to make sure that we are keeping our eyes out for everything. But I think the sooner we start traveling there, the sooner we'll be able to hopefully get something that'll help her.
I agree.
Indeed, it is a very worthy venture. I know there's probably lots of coin involved where that one's concerned, but I wish you folks the best of luck. Try not to get kidnapped by undead and turned into their unwitting servants.
Don't worry, I'll just
we want to try as well.
I'm in half.
What he said.
Indeed. Now you lot
Might
of fun.
slice them into probably 100 bajillion pieces.
I don't think I can
giblets,
count
is
that
it?
many pieces. I hope I don't have
Well,
to keep track of the pieces.
I certainly should hope you don't either. That's rather tiresome. All right. Well, if you lot are ready, I'll signal for the gates to be opened.
Herc
Ready as I'll
nods.
ever be.
Don't worry, Boo Boo. I'll protect you.
Well, thanks, Herc. Not overly fond of undead things.
I mean, who is?
You make a good point, Herg.
So not fond of them that I could slice them in half.
They really don't smell very good, so I can't say I'm exactly a fan. Plus, they tend to want to do bad things. Flesh-eating type of
Kill
things.
you. That's why I'm going to kill the undead back.
That sounds like a good plan. I will keep the torches ready to burn the bodies.
That's the spirit. All right, open the gates.
Them.
And Herg will set out in the direction that we've sort of decided upon as soon as the gates are open, throwing a wave over his shoulder.
You can hear some bars clicking kind of within, and then there's this heavy creak as the very large wooden gates slowly. Which direction is it better for gates to swing open in? Is it out or in?
Usually there's like a portcullis in a castle that goes straight up as far as bars
there's
go.
that, but it's also wooden doors that don't go up.
Probably out because it would be easier to open the doors from the outside if they're trying to push in.
Yeah.
So if the doors go out, then it'd be harder to like.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but I was doubting myself for a second. Yeah, and it's the massive wooden doors swing outwards with very heavy creaking. And you can see the broad expanse of the grasslands kind of out before you. You can see a bit of the tradeway going out of the gate and then hooking its way a bit more east, but swinging slightly northwest, not east. Swinging slightly northward, with your destination very quickly veering away from that road and just kind of into the gently swaying sea of tall grasses.
Hey, if I may, before we go, when we're walking out the door, I mentioned the guy letting us out. Hey, back in my hometown, I gotta tell you, there's this miracle formula called WD-40. It's gonna fix that door right up.
I have no idea what that is, but we'll keep an eye out for it.
It's native to my town. I strongly suggest that it can fix anything. It's a well-proven miracle formula.
Indeed. Well, I'm surprised they haven't revolutionized the world with it then.
Yeah, I don't know. I give it a while. It's going to take off.
I'll take your word for it. At any rate, best of luck.
And I appreciate all of your hospitality.
Oh, it's my pleasure, dear. And he just kind of gives you a wink as he turns back to the rest of the castle.
Berg would like to take point at the front.
All right.
So he can be a big meat shield between them and anything else that happens.
And Herg starts taking up the front with everyone else falling into line behind.
I probably have the best vision, so I'll take the rear.
Sounds good. As you folks start making your way out of the Castle of Dragonspear, once you clear the gates, you hear Istaval yell to have them closed, and very creakily, they start swinging shut with a thud. And even though you can see that was a portcullis that could come down, it doesn't look like they keep it lowered unless it's necessary. But you can see the noonday sun kind of just like lazily drifting overhead, and just very nice, soft breeze. A bit chilly, even in the bright sun. You can see the gently swaying grass, and you can actually see a hint of clouds way off in the west. Very dark clouds, looking like they're making their way in your direction. But otherwise, I believe the day and the travel is yours. Is there anything that we wished to discuss or talk about or plan whilst we walked?
Herg would like to keep an eye out with his Outlander feature for any kind of edibles in the area. I have an Outlander feature that says you can always remember the layout of a region's geographical features and can usually find enough food and water for 6 people. So to reserve our rations in case we need them later, he would like to keep an eye out for things like that we could use to supplement dinner later on.
Sounds good. Make a survival check for me.
Yeah, I'm good at those.
You jinx it.
Yeah, probably. I mean, like, I just click on it, right?
Survival, yes.
Woo woo.
Nice.
Dirty 20, very nice. All right. And as you folks are going through the tall grasses, some of you it's coming up to not quite your waist, probably about most of the way up your thigh. For some of the taller ones, it's right around the kneecap area. Some of them kind of stick as you're walking past, probably a defense mechanism. Most of them just kind of gently sway. It's almost like walking through a small ocean, and you can see the hills and crests. Now, as you're walking along, and every so often you're coming up hills and then kind of getting a good view of the rest of the area around you before making your way down the other side and going back up other hills, almost like a roller coaster. As you folks are walking along, Herg, you do see every now and again just small bushes, kind of not quite hiding in amongst the tall grasses. Some of them have some berries on them. And of the ones that do, you do see a couple that looks like there's raspberry bushes. Yeah, those are definitely raspberries. And so you are able to pick enough raspberries that this will probably last you a couple of days.
I would like to pick these raspberries and kind of wrap them in well, not wrap them, but like use my clean shirt that I have in my bag to like carry the berries. It's not going to be a clean shirt anymore, but whatever. Just
If you'd like, I have a pouch you can put some of those in.
Oh, I just assumed you had stuff in your pouch. I didn't really want to ruin your pouch with berry juices. I can always wash a shirt.
You could also stick them in your mess kit.
Oh yeah, I've got one of those. Yeah, I put them in my mess kit. This is when we should have bought that bucket.
Can I check around to make sure we're not in any like creature or wildlife feeding ground? Are there any signs that tell of that?
Make a perception check. And as
rolling?
He's rolling a perception check to see if there's any wild animals about that might try to eat us. You can do that if you want.
As you are taking a look around,
I guess I'll also do a perception check then.
If you wish to do a perception check, Spike, please feel free. All right. As the two of you are looking around while Herc gathers raspberries into his mess kit, it's a bit difficult at first, kind of trying to spot anything against the gentle swaying of the grasses, especially since in areas like this, most prey and predators would know how to move with the natural motion of their surroundings. After a while, you're not quite picking up on it, Spike, but Busey, you can kind of see every now and again some of the grasses go a little bit too quickly. in the right direction or too slowly. And your best guess is that there's probably some wildlife, nothing that you can visibly see. But as you're looking around, you do look overhead and you do see a hunting hawk just kind of circling, not quite over you guys. And it just drifts a little bit closer to the ground. And Herg's about to gather the rest of the berries off the bush, and you see that hawk just drop suddenly in a dive. And it disappears into the sea of grasses, probably about a good 100 feet from you guys, a little bit downhill. And you hear it coming from that direction, this loud screech, and then just silence.
The hawk doesn't come back up again?
Hawk doesn't come back up again.
Hey, y'all.
That's not
Pretty
great.
sure it's dead.
Hey, y'all. We might not be alone. I don't know if y'all saw that, but I just saw a hawk go down like it was hunting, and then bang, something screamed and it didn't come back up.
It's
I
a...
saw it too.
Yeah.
Did we all hear that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that hawk is dead.
Or it might have caught something and is eating it there.
Usually hawks fly back up with their prey to prevent themselves from being ambushed on the ground by other predators. So probably not.
We might want to be careful.
It could be snakes.
Yeah, we're pretty much not alone. So
I mean, like this
guard
is outside in nature. There's gonna be things, but
Oh, absolutely. I'm just recommending that we be vigilant.
yeah.
All right. Yeah, I think we definitely need to keep our eyes out then.
Mm-hmm.
I've got my sword ready to jab into someone's eye.
Hey, Caliph, I would like to pay passive attention to that, to any kind of movement that comes up.
Oh, I know. Anything I describe is already taking that sort of thing into account.
Okay. I just want to make sure I'm noting that I'm continuously paying attention to that.
Sitlali holds onto the hilt of her dagger that's on her side.
Herg is going to finish collecting berries, assuming he has that couple days worth that you were mentioning before.
Yep, and it was actually right as you were picking off the last of the good ones that you folks heard that screech.
I'm just gonna have a hand axe ready so that I can throw it at something if I need to, and I'm kind of using it to cut through some of the grass to make it easier for everybody shorter than me to walk.
Mm-hmm. As you folks are picking yourself back up, you kind of tuck the mess kit back into your backpack with the now full of berries, so it's probably a good pound or two heavier. And you hear probably about 20 feet away from you grunting.
Does it sound like a boar?
It's very
Lightning
soft
boar?
at first. Then you hear a couple of grunts, and to your somewhat trained ear, yeah, sounds like it might be a boar.
Guys, I think there's some boars about. We should try to avoid those. They tend to get kind of aggressive if they're in groups.
And we could just turn them into bacon.
Can I
They've got tusks. That's not really a very good idea. We should probably try to leave them alone.
I think
Could you
they're
turn off
surrounding
the
us.
tusks?
Boars don't really do that on purpose.
I'm gonna notch an arrow in my bow just in case.
If I can tell where the grunting is coming from, I would like to lead us kind of in a circular direction around it so as not to disturb the boars if that's what they are.
Make a perception check for me.
May I take perception too?
Please.
Owie, my foot. Ooh, sparkly see-through.
All right, and as you're looking around trying to divine the general source of the grunting, you know, like you had the direction you folks were walking, which was almost like it was kind of like west by southwest, not quite true west, towards the Trollbark Forest. The screech where the hawk dove was almost directly to your right, so almost like straight north. You can tell her that the grunting is coming from the general direction in between those two.
Okay.
But as you're perking up and listening, Megda, you can tell that the boars are probably about 25, 30 feet from you, in almost that exact direction, but it sounds like as if they're getting a little bit further away. You can hear the slight rustling of them moving through the grasses, but the grunts are getting a little bit fainter.
Okay, I let everybody know that.
All right. Then Herg holds his position until Meg stops hearing the boars before we move on.
It's probably a good minute or two before they kind of get faint enough that you're fairly confident that they're probably 100 feet off at that point.
All right. What do you think, Meg? Safe to keep going now?
Well, let's keep our eyes out in front of us just in case there's other critters about. But I think the boars are out of our way at least.
All right.
Oh man, I really wanted bacon.
Maybe next time when it's not a whole group of them.
If I see anything, I'll
And
be
then
sure to point it out.
I'll probably jab its eye out.
Okay. Well.
And onwards we go, I'm assuming.
Yep. Herg will keep going as soon as Meg says that it's a-okay to go forward since she could hear them better than him.
Yep, so I guess we keep going then.
Mm-hmm.
And you folks start making your way onward once more, continuing on through the swaying sea of grasses. You get another few miles. It's probably about an hour or so later, and the clouds that you saw way off in the distance have already made their way a lot closer. They're a bit more overhead now, and it's kind of spanning the entire distance from the Trollbark Forest almost the whole way to Dragonspear Castle. It looks like a very big set of clouds, and it makes the sky really dark. And it's a good few minutes after they kind of came overhead, and you just see very lazily drifting down just thick snowflakes as it begins to snow.
Huh. Herg is in a vest, and he does not seem pleased by this. My hat doesn't keep me as warm as I thought it would.
Magda gets out her blanket she has and wraps it around Herg.
Herg is very appreciative of this and kind of tucks it through the vest so it's more like a cape instead of a blanket. And it's like a cape with armholes. It's great. Like a parka.
And you get a little bit warmer. It's been decently chilly. When the clouds came overhead, it cut off the sun, and you could really feel the chill then. And yeah, it definitely feels like it's cold enough for snow. But the blanket definitely helps.
I would like to roll a survival check to see if I can find like a large rock or a tree or something that we could maybe make camp at that would help lessen the snowfall on us as we sleep, since I'm assuming it's also starting to get darker.
It is starting to get a bit darker. You could probably go for about another hour or so, at your best guess, before sundown. But just looking around, it's wide open plains. Just wide grassland. Not seeing large rocks in any form, and you're not seeing any trees.
What about a more severe slope of hill that we could build camp against?
That we can certainly look for, but rather than survival, make another perception check.
Okay. It's a -1, so that won't be too great.
Oh wait, we're rolling again?
Only if you want to
Can
look
I
for
check
hills.
for that too?
Okay, I want to look for hills because maybe
Sure.
be something to murder on there.
Or something to keep us from getting murdered by snow.
I prefer me doing the murder.
Yeah, no snow murder.
Just in the future, I would prefer to not have everybody roll, especially when it's perception checks.
Okay. Well, I'll pass.
Well, no, you can please feel free to do so now. But from here on, especially when it comes to perception, and if we're looking for kind of the same thing, pick amongst yourselves who would be the best one to do it, and then they will have advantage on the roll.
Wow, look at that.
Point in case.
And like I said, I mean, that's a really good roll, but if you want me to take that back, I mean, I can't.
No, why would I tell you to roll and then take it back?
I'm
No.
just saying.
No.
There
That's not how
just
things
won't
are
be
done.
anything there for us to find. It's fine.
Yes, I could delete it, but
The natural tendency continues of me rolling nat 20s for useless things.
useless. There's no
We're-
such thing as useless.
Oh my goodness.
This is D&D. If I'm making you roll dice, no, it matters. And in this case, it means you're not camping out in the middle of a field with snow coming down around you. Which, that could be a life or death situation. In fact, it was a life or death situation for a different group. But yeah, you're taking a look around, Herg, and you're seeing mostly just wide open grass. Gently rolling plains that are now starting to get a little bit weighted down under gently falling snow, which seems to be getting a little bit thicker as time is moving on. Between you and Spike, you're taking a look, but sadly the two of you aren't finding anything. It's not until you guys are starting to go down a hill, and you kind of staggered out a little bit by accident, and Busey just kind of drops through the grass. And it's suddenly discovered that that tidbit of hill that he walked down was a bit more sheer than where everybody else had walked, because he'd kind of gotten off like a few steps to the left. And you didn't drop terribly far. It was just a couple of feet, so it was no harm done. It was more the shock value of it. But
I was like, oh, hey!
yeah, pretty much. It's you went to step where you thought there was going to be solid ground, but instead you stepped through the thick grass that was pretty tall. And kind of accidentally mushing most of it with your feet and probably a bit of your rump, you found that, it's slightly less breezy down here because it seems to be a bit in the lee of the wind. So yeah, no, it looks like that might be a good spot to camp. And it is kind of starting to get a little bit hard to see. You could probably go for another 15 minutes if you wanted, but it's up to you folks.
Good job, Boo Boo. You found a great spot.
Oh, thank you. Wish I could say it was on purpose.
Sometimes accidents lead to great discoveries, so good job.
Well, thank you, ma'am.
I would like to use my hand axe to clear out the area a little bit so that everybody else can set up their tents if they've got them.
Yeah, which easy enough, especially with a hand axe. You start trying to chop at the grasses. It's a little bit difficult. So you just take the flat of it and just mash them down to the side, and it actually provides a little bit of cushioning.
I'm going to pitch my tent there.
Easy enough. It only takes a few minutes for you guys to get set up. You get the tents put up, and if you wish, you could get a fire started.
I'd like to clear.
Get a fire started.
I'd like
So then something dangerous comes to us, and we could just throw it in the fire and watch it burn to death.
Okay. I would like to make sure that as we're making this fire, we clear enough of the grasses away so we don't set the entire field alight.
Easy enough to do. You just kind of scrape away the dirt to get all the roots and tidbits out, and you make sure it's far enough away that you don't have to worry about embers setting everything ablaze.
While they do that, after I'm not going to worry so much about the torch. want to get my camp set up and then immediately work on my nightly 300 push-ups.
Jesus.
As part of his character, he's a fitness addict.
Point of exhaustion.
He's very fit. He wouldn't be exhausted from that. And he's an elf, so he's weightless.
I would like to take the berries that I found and mash them up with maybe a biscuit from some of my raisins to make kind of a crumble and bake it on a rock over the fire enough that everybody can have some.
That's nice.
Easily enough done, and hey, for field rations, that's pretty scrumptious. Wild grown raspberries, they got some kick to them.
I made dinner.
Looks and smells delicious. Thank you, Herg.
Oh my god, this is going to taste so good. Just like the feeling of murder.
All right, brother, just calm down a bit. You can take the first watch.
So, quick question. For around the camp area that we made, how big would you say radius-wise our camp area is?
How big do you want it to be?
I'm just curious of what everybody else thinks.
Well, there's two-person tents that you guys have set up, and just from camping with the Boy Scouts, I know that those are usually about 5 by 8 to fit 2 people in there. So you're looking at 2 5 by 8 tents, plus they have to be a distance away so that they won't catch fire from the fire itself. So you're probably looking at least a 30 to 40 foot radius for the entirety of the campsite in order to be safe from the fire.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, if everybody's okay with it, Sitlali has a way to make sure nobody gets in our tents, just in case somebody doesn't see. She's going to put string and a bell on each of them. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's a wonderful idea.
Okay, she's going to set that up on the tents, like in the way where you go in.
And I would assume since there's two-person tents, that means when 4 of us are asleep, one of us is on watch, and then we just switch out with somebody in the tents when it's time to take a different watch.
Yes, just make sure you keep eye on the stream, because otherwise you'll set it off and scare someone.
Yes, ma'am.
Easily enough done, and it's quite the campsite. It's a little homey. It's a bit rough, but between the tents, the food, the fire, the comfort from the wind, it's peaceful. You've got the snow coming down, and you can see the grasses with the fire flickering off of the snow. They're starting to get a bit matted down underneath the weight. Over the course of getting the camp set up, getting dinner made, eating, getting the tents, good hour or so, and you can see probably a good couple of inches of snow on the ground at this point. Thankfully, the fire is able to keep most of it melted, and the tents look sturdy enough that, I mean, whoever's on watch might have to brush them off every now and again, but shouldn't have to worry too much about tents collapsing. But it's a peaceful night so far. Who's taking first watch?
I can do it. Yeah, I'll be happy to take first watch.
I do appreciate it. You just let us know if you start getting too tired, okay?
I'll be fine. I appreciate that, though, ma'am.
Do you need your blanket back?
Oh, no. Okay, it's fine. I got a sweater, an extra sweater in my pack here, some clothes. So I'll just put on an extra sweater. I'll be fine.
Are you sure? I've got a bedroll that I can just roll up in.
Oh, well, that's up to you.
I'll give it to you for now, and then maybe I'll take it back tomorrow if it's still snowing then.
All right, it sounds like a plan.
Yeah, I give her her blanket back, and I make myself into a cocoon inside of my bedroll.
Also
Snuggled.
Mm-hmm.
more likely a breakfast burrito. Or just a burrito in general. It doesn't really matter.
That's a big burrito.
Man, I look so delicious that I could eat myself.
That's so cute.
I am 100% agreeing with the white cat. That's just got the yes face.
The one on the left looks just like my cat Biscuit.
Biscuit, it's adorable.
He's sleeping on the couch right now. He was staring at me playing, but he's just sleeping now.
Oh, sleepy kitty. But as tents are being set up, dinner is had, the watch is selected, and as folks are starting to bed down and you kind of make yourself a bit more active, Busey, finishing up your 300 push-ups and gathering up some of the fire to keep yourself warm as you kind of do some rounds around the tents. That's actually where we'll end the session tonight.
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie.
We only shopped for half of it.
Yeah, right? We shopped for like 6 weeks last time. But then again, we'll see what happens if we actually end up with money.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you to anybody who's been watching tonight. If you exist at all, we appreciate it. And you can see us back here next week at 7 o'clock on Wednesday for Dungeons and Dinosaurs. Good night.
It depends on what people want.
Doesn't Twitch tell you if people are watching?
Yes, but I can't do more than one screen at once. Everybody say good night.
Good night.